We've all met someone who made the hairs on the back of our neck stand up. Not because of anything overtly sinister, but because something just felt off. Maybe they were charming to a fault, yet left you emotionally exhausted. Maybe they seemed to constantly seek admiration or played mind games with uncanny precision. Or maybe, chillingly, they seemed utterly void of empathy. What you may have encountered isn't just a difficult personality. It could be a manifestation of what psychologists call the Dark Triad: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. These three traits are among the most destructive in the human psyche. Let's explore what they are, how to identify them, and what to do when you come across them in everyday life. The term Dark Triad was first introduced by psychologists Delroy Paulhus and Kevin Williams in 2002. It refers to three distinct yet overlapping personality traits that are particularly harmful in interpersonal relationships. Unlike traits such as introversion or anxiety, these aren't just quirks. They represent manipulative, cold, and self-serving ways of interacting with the world. Narcissism, when ego rules the room. At its core, narcissism is an inflated sense of self-importance. Narcissists believe they are unique and superior, and expect the world to treat them accordingly. They crave admiration like oxygen, and often react poorly to criticism or failure. But narcissism isn't always loud or grandiose. It can also be subtle. There's the overt narcissist, the one who brags endlessly, dominates conversations, and demands attention. But there's also the covert narcissist, the one who plays the victim, guilt trips others, or seeks constant reassurance through passive means. Common traits include a persistent need for validation and admiration, an inability to accept blame or criticism, a tendency to manipulate others to maintain a superior self-image. Think of a boss who constantly touts their own brilliance but never accepts responsibility when things go wrong. They bask in the spotlight but vanish when accountability is needed. Machiavellianism, the chess master of manipulation. Named after the 16th century political thinker Niccolo Machiavelli, this trait is all about strategy and self-interest. People high in Machiavellianism are cold, calculating, and manipulative. Unlike narcissists who seek admiration, Machiavellians seek control. They don't lie for the thrill, they lie to win. They view relationships as tools and people as pawns. Their emotional detachment allows them to scheme with ease, often leaving others none the wiser. Warning signs include deceptive charm and flattery with hidden agendas, long-term manipulation for personal gain, a lack of emotional investment in relationships, psychopathy, the chilling lack of conscience. When most people hear the word psychopath, they think of movie villains or criminals. But psychopathy is often much more mundane and much more common than pop culture suggests. Psychopathy is defined by a lack of empathy, remorse, and emotional depth. Psychopaths are often fearless and impulsive, living in the moment without guilt or concern for consequences. They can be charming, even magnetic, but their connections with others are superficial. Traits include absence of guilt or empathy, shallow emotional expression, reckless behavior without remorse. What creates a dark personality? Science suggests it's a combination of both genetics and environment. Some individuals may be biologically predisposed to traits like low empathy or high impulsivity, but childhood experiences, such as neglect, abuse, or trauma, can also shape these traits. In some cases, developing dark traits may be a defense mechanism. A child raised in a harsh or unloving environment may learn to manipulate, detach, or self-aggrandize simply to survive. However, not every child from a difficult background becomes narcissistic or psychopathic. These traits develop on a spectrum, and having some tendencies doesn't necessarily mean someone is dangerous or irredeemable. Understanding the Dark Triad isn't about judging others, it's about awareness. These traits explain why some people leave chaos in their wake, even while appearing charming, competent, or successful. Being informed arms you with tools: emotional resilience, sharper intuition, and stronger boundaries. You'll be less likely to fall prey to manipulation, and more equipped to protect your peace. In a world where charisma often overshadows character, recognizing dark traits is more important than ever. Not everyone who dazzles you has your best interests at heart. So the next time someone makes a grand impression, pause and ask yourself, are they showing you their true self? or just playing a role. Awareness is your first line of defense. Stay sharp, stay grounded, and always protect your peace.